with Team Oracle taking up so much of Larry Ellison's attention, some people have been critical of the time he spent away from Oracle, the company. Yesterday, Oracle Open World, a big conference here in San Francisco, hundreds of people there to hear him speak. He didn't show up. Yeah,
and that is the highlight of the Oracle conference every year, Open World, and indeed, it's something people were looking forward to. And it's interesting that he also managed to skip the last conference call for the company. So it's very clear, you know, he could have glossed over those by just appearing at those events, but it's clear where his focus is. His focus is clearly on the Bay, not down in the Redwood City and the Redwood Shores and Oracle headquarters.
You know, Cory, to a certain extent, should we understand? I mean, this has been his passion for the last several years. He's poured a lot of money into this. He's revamped the entire San Francisco waterfront. Should we understand if he wants to watch the final races?
I mean, certainly, who couldn't understand that? But the issue here is he's one of the highest paid CEOs ever, and one of the highest paid CEOs, and his shareholders are demanding it, that his company perform better. While the stock hasn't done terribly, the performance of the company has been wanting. If you look at things like the company's sales growth, for example, sales growth has been, if not negative on a year-over-year basis, single digits. I mean, the quarter they just reported had merely 2% sales growth. Wall Street was hoping for 3%. Wall Street was hoping that he'd be around.
Now, some analysts out there have been complaining about this, right? I mean, what are people saying? What are people who cover this company saying about his absence from the company?
Yeah, I mean, Pat Walravens from JMP Securities, is a widely followed analyst, covered Oracle for a long time. He came out and said Oracle needs its captain back. In his note, he wrote, the conference call reflected a certain lack of direction, in our opinion, highlighted by CEO Larry Ellison's decision to skip the call and attend the races. He went on to say, well, we admire Ellison's passion as Team USA defends the Cup. We're hopeful that his energy refocuses on Oracle as the races wrap up. While Walravens, indeed, a lot of people thought the races were going to be over by the time Oracle World opened up, because Oracle was doing so poor, Oracle Team USA was doing so poorly in the races. But now that they've rattled off a bunch of wins, made up for the gap that they caused by cheating on the international regattas in the in-between years, they've got a real race coming later today.
So let's talk about Oracle, the business. I mean, what are the most worrying, concerning things going on with the business, and what does Larry need to do about it?
Well, clearly the sales growth is the biggest issue there, but also the hardware has been a real problem for this company. The big acquisition of Sun has just not been what they thought. They thought that they testified in trial against Google that they thought the patents alone were worth the purchase price, and but their ability to enforce those Java patents didn't seem to work out the way they wanted it to, and they lost that case. Furthermore, you've got the company, the hardware division, really struggling just in terms of sales of hardware. This notion of selling hardware and software together just hasn't worked the way they wanted, and it continues to shrink massively, well over 20% year-over-year for every one of the last 6 quarters.
So, Cory, after the race today, what happens? I mean, if Oracle wins, then what? If Oracle loses, then what?
Well, the America's Cup winner is going to get to choose where the next race will be held. Surely the Kiwis would like to hold it in New Zealand, and Ellison would probably like to keep it in San Francisco. You know, for all of the struggles of this race and the ways it hasn't taken hold, and all of the racing didn't seem to gather the attention of America or even of the San Francisco Bay Area, I think that what's happened in the last couple of weeks, and Emily, I've actually been in New York the last week and a half, but I wonder from you, I mean, are people getting stoked about this thing? I mean, I had a great time out there. I had a great time doing those series that we did, the package that we did with our great producer here, Janice Pettit, who did a lot of the work in these things. And I think the stories the boats are exciting. They were too expensive probably to field bigger teams, but the races, I don't know, they've been cool. Have you watched any?
I did watch some, Cory, and I just want to remind our audience that they can catch our full half-hour special on the America's Cup on the web. You know, I did actually go to one of the races at about the turning point when Oracle was down 8-1, and everybody seemed pretty depressed, pretty down, and suddenly they came back in this remarkable comeback. In that particular race, New Zealand almost capsized, so there was a bit of drama as well. And from there, it was the start of this amazing, remarkable winning streak, and you can sort of just feel the excitement and anticipation building in the community out here over the last several days. I'm going to go down and watch the last race today. I'm excited. You know, whether or not Larry Ellison has spent too much time on this, you know, you can't help but being a little patriotic about hoping that Team USA wins.
I don't know. I mean, the guys on the boat are British and from Australia, and you know, Larry Ellison's money is, I don't even know if that's domestic, but it sure is exciting to watch these guys go after it. And you can understand why Larry Ellison would skip work, but even if his shareholders aren't too happy about it. I won't be skipping work today, however. I'll be hard at work, I promise him.